It's been a while. Today we're starting properly with a push day. That's my pre-workout, and now I'm gonna prep my intra stuff. I'm just testing some new things out. I'm not saying these are the greatest supplements. I just want to test something out. So for the intra, I got a one from MyProtein, plus that I'm gonna add some extra, I don't know if you hear that, arginine and ornithine. Those amino acids. Yes, I know, if you have enough protein, you should have been eating, yada yada yada. But just want to test it out. I've read some interesting stuff. And then I'll let you know the proper feedback. So we got one of that. Okay. I hope this tastes better than it smells. It smells a bit, ugh. Never had it before, by the way, so that's also to be noted. Arginine, funny enough, I used to take a lot when I was younger. So when I was getting coached by some bodybuilders, I don't know, I was maybe like 15, 16 when I was competing for the first time. Their main thing was having arginine and ornithine. I was like, okay, a decade later, let me just do a bit of research on both of those again and wonder why they cared so much about it in the past. And I remember, like, it was a big jump for me when I started using them, but not saying it's gonna happen again now. I am just curious, and because they are so cheap, it doesn't matter if they don't work. That's exactly how I want the things that I drink to look, right? So if you never had an intra workout before, if you remember in the past, I used to get the one from Extend. I can't get that in Romania properly, so this was the second best option, where basically you have a lot of electrolytes and some amino acids. So it should technically help a lot with the pump in the gym. That's pretty much it. That's all it is. If you don't have money to spend on supplements, that is the last thing that you need to get. I'm just a spoiled brat. And I'm also adding some carnitine to the mix, just because I want to start the cardio sessions, and that does help me sweat a lot more. I always tend to train fasted, not because of the fasted workout benefits, to be honest. It's really because my digestion in general is quite slow. So if I don't have at least 2 to 3 hours in between the meal and the training session, I usually get sick and then it ruins my workout. So I'd rather just go in with a pre-workout, carnitine, have my intra just to keep my tummy full, and then eat when I come back home. That was a fucking massive. Right, let's go to the gym. I'm always starting my pressing days with this simple warm-up. It's a tricep for the rotator cuff muscles. You need to set up the cables at hip height, and from here you go outwards 12 times, keeping the elbow next to your body. Then I turn around and I do the exactly same thing inwards, taking care of the other side of the shoulder, and then finishing up with facing the cable, elbow in line with the shoulder and the wrist in line with your elbow, lifting the cable upwards. This is probably the toughest one, but it does really prep you well for what's to come. Heavy. New push day, starting with incline presses on Smith machine, always with a quite aggressive angle. I much prefer up the 45, 50 degrees. Starting with this, then I go into a flat movement. And then always on Smith, because you have a way better chance of controlling the negative while keeping it safe even towards your last few reps. Now I'm aiming for a hypertrophy range of 12 reps, but I'm failing miserably. So first set was 10, second set was 8, third set was 6. So I have a way longer way to go. I'll probably have to drop the weight slightly next time to 90 kg rather than 100 and get myself closer to the rep target. I'm dropping a bit too low now. But it's the first session of this split, so I'm kind of like testing out the weights, see exactly where I am for a higher volume one. Because I used to do up until last week up to 8 reps. So 12 is a bit of a stretch, but it's a good challenge. This drink is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Remember when I said like I hope it will taste better than it smells? It's probably even worse. I mean, not really, but it genuinely just tastes exactly like it smells, which is awful. Yeah, I don't know. We'll time it. We'll see exactly what kind of pump I get out of it. If it's good, I can close my eye on this. It's fine. So I'm doing 4 sets of 12 in here. I got the last one and I'll do a drop set on this as well. So hopefully I'll get another 6, then drop to 60, go to failure. That's pretty much it. Right, so the setup for this is pretty basic. You just need to put the weight behind the bench because otherwise you're going to be getting dragged back. Then when you sit down, the cable height needs to be at just your shoulder. And now by being at a 90-degree angle with the bench and that at shoulder height, you're basically having a pressing flat angle, which is exactly what we need. Now, why I prefer the cables over dumbbells or bars in general is because you get a way better range of motion. It's a lot safer. When you go down and out, giving you a way better stretch on the back. And when you press forward and in while still maintaining a great contraction against the chest. Now, usually when you get at the top of a bench press with a bar or with the dumbbells, everything is in the front delt. So with this, that kind of gets fixed. And another thing that I really enjoy is that there is no fear factor with this. So you can really push towards your maximum limit by yourself without a spotter and be completely fine. You don't get scared with it. And then the drop sets are incredible here as well. Quick to do. So yeah, give it a try. This has been my favorite flat press variation for years, and for hypertrophy reasons in particular, my opinion is just the best. Last reps were a bit choppy. We're still trying to find the right weight for the rep range. So still aiming for 12. Might need to drop the weight slightly. Now we're gonna do some incline machine presses just to completely fatigue the upper chest. I'll only be here for 3 sets, 12 reps, ideally, and a minute and a half rest in between. But I gotta say, the pump feels really good so far. Could be the extra volume, but it could also be that disgusting juice. So maybe it's doing its job after all. And for the remaining of the workout, I'll just walk you very quickly through. So finishing the chest section with machine flies. And you might notice that the form might not be the cleanest, but I'm really enjoying the heavy tension on this machine in particular. I cannot open my arms fully because the machine kind of gets locked. So this is the second best thing I can do with it. But at the same time, feels amazing, enjoying the pump, loving it. Then moving into side raises on this machine. Now, typically, I'm not a huge fan of side raises machines, but this one is completely different and it feels genuinely amazing. Because I was getting kind of bored and tired of cables and dumbbells, this is a nice switch. Then moving into the first movement of the triceps, which is single hand push downs. Now, I personally prefer this much more than the straight bar because one, you get a way better range of motion, you get to push past your hip line, getting you a much better contraction on the long end of the triceps. Plus that, you get to work unilaterally and make sure that everything stays in balance. And then I'm finishing the triceps with one of my favorite movements ever, which is overhead tricep extensions with an easy bar at cables. Setting up the cable at hip height only, so you can pick it up easy because then the angle is pretty much the same thing. Then controlling the negative as much as I possibly can and still focusing on a contraction at the top. But there's no better way to finish your triceps. So this is the final pump. Not gonna lie, that juice is disgusting, but at least it does the job. I feel it. I feel it a lot. I like it. So I can get over the taste. I'm gonna end the workout with 20 minutes on the cross trainer. I started moving towards this rather than just like jogging or any other cardio because there's no impact and my joints feel okay with doing this every single day. If I go into running every single day now, I'll have to really optimize everything and do it in very small amounts so my ankles and knees can get used to it because I haven't been running in ages. So the cross trainer is my choice. I'll be doing this for level 10, 20 minutes, roughly 3.5 kilometers. That's kind of the distance that I'm going for in the time. And I'll be aiming to do this at the end of most of my workouts. I'd say at least 4 out of 6 workouts I'll do cross trainer at the end. Gotta start prepping for summer, isn't it? It was a monstrous session. Now it's time to refeed. And this has been my breakfast for the past, I think, 9 years or something, because it's easy to make, it's very cheap, it's very good on nutrients, probably the most nutritious meal that I have in the whole day. And it being in a liquid format, it's very easy for me to get 1,500-ish calories in and digest them within 2 to 3 hours, be hungry again for lunch. If you're a hard gainer, if you're struggling to put on weight, no matter what it might seem that you're doing, have this as your breakfast. I guarantee you, if you have this and 2 normal meals, lunch and dinner, you will gain weight without a problem. Then once you get over 85 kg, you're gonna have to be a bit more tactical about it. But up until you get to 85, you're gonna zoom through it. So it's that simple. It starts with 500 full fat milk. This alone probably has around 800 calories in itself. Then we'll do banana. If you don't get a banana in, the oats never blend as well, so this has to be in, to the point where if I don't have bananas, I don't even bother making the shake because all the oats sink at the bottom and it's just simply disgusting to get that in. So always have bananas or other sort of fruit that would help with the mix. I don't know what else would work like this, but you do you. Then I'll be doing 1.5 scoops for good luck. So I have a whey isolate. This one again has at least 90% concentration in protein and it's a lot easier to absorb. It's probably the best type of protein that you can have in a powder format. So definitely have that. If not that, go for animal-based. Don't just go with whey concentrate because that's a bit of a gray area in terms of quality. Even if it's a tiny bit cheaper, it's not worth it. Then after the 1.5 scoops, we'll do 100 grams oats. Have no idea what's that in American measures, but you can do the conversion. Then I'll also add 10 grams of collagen, just for joints and skin, that kind of stuff. I think mine is bovine. I believe this one is the best for joints in particular, but feel free to correct me in the comments. Then I'll do 2 raw eggs. It might sound weird, but trust me, this will give a creamier texture to the shake, and it's so much nicer. Plus that you get some healthy fats, you get like an extra like 12-15 grams of protein, worth it. And if you drink it fast enough, it's completely fine. Again, I've been doing this for almost a decade, never got an ill from it. Not saying that that won't happen, but so far the strategy went well. Just buy good eggs and drink the shake right away. Don't leave it overnight. Then I usually do around like 30-40 grams of peanut butter, but I'm kind of running out, so 30, that's fine. That's pretty much it. If you do the math, roughly you're gonna get close to 1,500 calories, around like 80-85 grams of protein. Can't remember the carbs and fats, but I've done this so many times and kind of eyeballing it right now. Feel free to readjust the measures of all of these, maybe drop the milk, maybe drop a tiny bit of the oats, and make it fit within your calorie target. But generally speaking, this is the best breakfast a guy can have after a workout. Shake's done. Another thing that I wanted to show you is the pill box. I know this looks like a lot, but it's generally not. I'll walk you through what I'm taking every single morning in my stack. But the biggest tip I can give you is get one of those tackle boxes from Amazon, because they're like slightly bigger and you can organize all your days like a grandma. But then taking everything every single morning won't be taking you 5 minutes, and you're gonna be a lot more consistent with it. Yes, it's annoying. One night you're gonna have to like spend and like put everything together, but in 10 minutes you do the whole box and it saves you so much time for the rest of the month. I think I have 30 days in total in here, if I remember. Yeah, so this is a full month. And I have one for my evening stack as well. I mean, yeah, but that one, to be honest, only has like 4 or 5 different things. Here, it's a lot more. So I start obviously with a multivitamin, just for the basics. Then I'll have a B complex methylated. Then I'll have 2000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, which are omega-3s. Just make sure when you buy an omega-3 supplement that you check the back label, because a lot of the times they're gonna promote it as 2000 milligrams of fish oil. And out of that 2000 milligrams of fish oil, you're gonna have probably 500, 600 EPA and DHA combined. And those are the actual omega-3s. You don't need fish oil, you need the omega-3s. So make sure that you're getting the 2000 milligrams of EPA and DHA. So a lot of the times you either need to look for a way higher concentration supplement or take double or triple the dose that they recommend at the back. That, of course, if you want to get the best benefits from having the omega-3s. Then a zinc picolinate, that's the best form of zinc. It absorbs the best, roughly 25 milligrams. Then a vitamin D, 4000 IU. Obviously, it's winter time in Romania, it's quite heavy in here, don't get to see that much sun. So that's important to get in. Then I have, and I'm just trialing this now, literally the supplements just came in, so I have no feedback on this whatsoever. But based on some podcasts and some research, I started adding in 400 milligrams of Tongat Ali and 600 milligrams of Fadoja. Now, those are 2 plants that supposedly have a lot of good health benefits, especially for guys. Some of them indicating that they might help in the production of natural testosterone in your body and maintaining it at a very good level. Now, all the research that I've kind of looked for with those 2 is that primarily the target audience that gets the most benefits from them are usually, let's say, like 30 to 50 years old guys. If you're younger than that, like myself, you might not see as much because your testosterone should still be at a very good healthy level with the age. But after 30, people seem to be getting more benefits from those 2 compounds. So if you feel like your energy is lacking or your mood is a bit shitty, it could be that your test is quite low. I mean, obviously always get that checked. But those 2 supplements can potentially help you, at least in the short run. But that's pretty much it. It's a lot of pills, but they go down with the shake. Always take your vitamins and everything that you take alongside with the meal. Otherwise, you could really upset your stomach and regret it later. I've done the mistake once of taking all of those on an empty stomach right before going to the gym, and I think I vomited like 3 times. So yeah, wouldn't recommend. Have it with a solid meal always. Another big advantage of the shake is that I down this in 2 minutes. I don't have to sit down and eat my meal for like 20 minutes, do a lot of dishes afterwards. It's just this, it's simple, it's convenient. Invented is a lot said. I started doing this again when I was in uni. No money, no time, no cooking skills. Now I just don't have time and cooking skills. But this will stay with me forever, and it will be the legacy that I'll pass to my children. The goal for 2026 is to start getting a bit leaner and prep for summer. Initially, I'll start with a recomp, and then if I feel like I need to, I'll move towards a mini cut at the end of the spring, probably like in May, and get ready right before June. When I do a mini cut, it's usually quite aggressive and no longer than 4 weeks. But if we get to that stage, I'll walk you through the strategy, and until then anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing in terms of the recomp, how I'm adding my cardio sessions, how often I'll be doing my abs, and how my workout plan kind of sustains the level of calories I'll be doing. But yeah, it's been good coming back. Hopefully I'll be able to stay a lot more consistent with all of this going forward. If you're not subscribed yet, join in, and I'll see you on the next one.